Hi there, I'm Walsh with OnlineLessonVideos.com. You just heard a version of me playing the old tune Turkey in the Straw. You might have noticed I'm playing it in the key of G. That's the key we're going to learn it in today. And we'll get right into breaking this down note by note. But before we do that, I'm going to start off by showing you some common double stops in the key of G that you can play on the fiddle. So here we go. Let's kick it off today with Turkey in the Straw. Okay, so let's pull our bow across the G and the D string here, and this is going to be our first double stop in this lesson. This is a very simple one. It's just your two open strings played together, and this is a fifth because they're 5 notes away from each other, the G from the D. So we play this one big long bow. Okay. Let's move to our middle two strings and take a look at a double stop there. This is going to be a G and a B. So we play a G. It's a little bit trickier. We have to use our fingers. That's your third finger right here, played on the D string in the G position. Okay, then match that up. Now take this first finger that's hanging out down here and put it up to a B on the A string. Okay, now put those two together. And you have a nice G double stop. That's a G with a B. Let's move to our A and E and see what we can do there. We're going to keep that B right where it was, and we're going to add in a G on the E string. This G is in the low 2 position, what I sometimes call the low 2. So it's right there, and you put that first finger right behind it on the A string. Okay, you've got a nice high double stop there. So those 3 double stops, let's review again. Open G and D. Nice big down bow. Let's go with an up bow for this middle one, G and B. Okay, and down bow for the B and G. Okay, let's get started with the tune. Some of these double stops are going to be in it, especially that middle one. In fact, a lot of these notes, which I'm going to show you right now, circle around these 2 notes, B and G. So this tune starts off with a pickup, which I'll count us into. So if I count it in 1, 2, 3, 4, we play a B and an A. Okay, the downbeat is going to be a G. So those 3 notes, let's just try that. Down bow, up bow, down bow. 1, 2, 3, 4. And a little bit slower. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So from here, we'll dissect these notes just from that G. So we'll come back to that B-A pickup again, but it's good to know where your first downbeat is when you're playing this tune. If you somehow run out of time at the end to fit in that B-A, it's good to know you can just play this downbeat, this G, so you can start right here. So these notes are G, F, G. Okay, now there's an A coming up here, and I like to use my 4th finger just to stay on the string. So I play ending on the G. Let's cycle through those notes a few times. One more time. Now we'll try it once more using an open A, just for the sake of practice. Here we go. Okay, you can see I have to shift my bow hand there to negotiate and get up to that A string. Okay, whereas with the 4th finger, I can keep my bow arm pretty much in a straight line without having to move it too much. Okay, so from these notes we play. Move to our open D string, and we're going to play we're going to go to some low notes here on the G coming up. So we play. Let's break that down. D, B, C, D, E, D, B, D. Okay? Now let's put that together with the notes we have here, the G, F, G. And then let's incorporate that double stop we had in the very beginning, the B, A, the B and the G. Okay, so when we start the tune now, we're going to play B, A, G, but we're going to put that B right back down. So it'll look like this. just one way of adding in a double stop into your playing, one that's already kind of built into the tune. So we start off again, 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three. One, two, three. Okay, let's move on to the next section. Here are the next notes. We play a G. And you notice I'm really accentuating those B notes. This is just to show you that we're going to play these 3 long B's with rests in them. So we play G, A. Okay, 3 B's like that. That last B is the beginning of a series of notes, B, A, G. So it's... Then you come... Well, before we move on, let's look at what we have here. So we start on the G. Let's try that again. G, A, B. Okay. We continue out of that with an A, and we play A, B, A, A. Okay, kind of quick with that A, B. All right. So we have from the beginning of that we G, A, B. Okay, this is a very basic rendition of the first part here. Let's try that one more time. G, A, B. 1, 2, 3. Okay, those notes you're playing at the end there, the B, A, A, the chord that goes over it is a D chord. So what we can do here is put in another double stop that's relatively simple. The note you're playing is A, so we're going to add another note to that to create the double stop. And we're going to use the easiest one available, which is the open D string. So you just play your middle 2 strings, thus creating a D double stop. So let's try putting that into these notes here. We have the G, A, B. Now I just started, basically there's 2 A's there, and I kind of let the bow bleed in for the first one, and then by the second A I was fully onto that double stop. So it was a kind of a... Okay, again, just starting with the A. And letting the bow ride up onto the D. Okay? Okay, let's, before we move on here, let's take a look at everything we have so far. We're about halfway through the first part. So we start off with our pickup notes. I'll count us in. 1, 2, 3. Okay? All right, let's move on. So we continue on. This is halfway through the first part. We already have these notes, so just play along. B, A, G. Okay, so for our ending, we have some slightly different notes here, and we play G, A, B. Okay, we're going to rest there, so that's ending on a D note. Okay, now the notes coming up here, earlier in the beginning of this tune we decided, or the way I'm teaching it to you, the way I play it, I decided to use a 4th finger to cover my A. That part right there. I'm going to do the same thing here, just for now. I'm going to use, we're about to play an E, and since I'm on the A string playing these notes already, I'm just going to use my 4th finger for the E. Okay, that should almost, it should also keep the tone pretty even, because I'm not breaking a string, or breaking to a new string. I'm remaining on this string. So we play what we have with the D rest. Then I'm going to throw in a quick E and walk down the scale. Now I skip a few notes there. I play E, D, B, G. Okay, so this is reminiscent of the arpeggio in G. It's also, we've seen this pattern with our double stop on the middle 2 strings. So we play E, double stop. There's some final notes here. They're pretty simple. It's A, B, A, G. So you play. Okay? So we put that together and we have. One, two, three. One, two, three. Okay, one, two, three. All right, let's review the first part a couple times. We're going to play it through 4 times. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's get going here with the second part of Turkey in the Straw. Now these notes here are pretty simple in this pattern, and it's pretty repetitive. So we'll spend a second on that. What I'd like to focus more on here is the bowing that I use. Now I keep what you would definitely call more of a shuffle bow going for this second part. And you'll notice if you go back to the beginning of this video, you can watch me bowing this, and you'll see this. You'll see me playing more of a shuffle pattern. So we'll spend more time on that. Now these notes are pretty simple in these patterns, and so you use a first finger on the A, right here. That's your B again, up to a D, and we play this. And that's, you can hear it right there. The melody is pretty evident, and you're going to see that repeated a lot. So it's a B to a D. Okay, played very rigidly right there. So, and that simply repeats. What we have next is another pattern that's pretty simple. Everything moves up to its respective next note up. So you move to a C. Okay, so it's like the B moves to a C, and then it's like the D moves to an E. So you play a C and an E. Okay, so that's a C. Okay, now that one we're going to stop right there after just one E. This is going to be a connecting, what I call sometimes a bridge note, F sharp. And we're finally going to move to that E string too. But let's go back over these notes and make sure we have them. So we start off, and I start off with a pickup too. This also lends itself, gets your bowing kind of ready, you kind of get started. So we start with an A. Let's try that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Let's try the next one. So we're just going to go straight from the 1 to the C, or from my count to the 1. We'll start on the C. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, let's go ahead and show you this too now. I'm starting to blend my strings. So we've been doing our double stop work on the A and the D string so far, a little bit on the D and the G, but mostly on the middle 2 strings. We're going to start now with using double stops for the second part on the A and the E string. So we start right there. So C can be played with an E, which gives you a nice C. C is the chord that's being played over these notes. And then you go up to the E, you get 2 double E's. It gives you a nice tone. Okay, of course, that's of course if they're both in tune with each other. Okay, so we play. Alright, in a moment we'll get to a little trickier double stop that you can use here. that I play the second time around in the video in the beginning of this lesson. So let's go over this again. From the B, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to connect everything up there with that F sharp, so a little peek ahead. Let's go back now and take a look at some different bowing patterns we can use here. So I like to start showing you this bowing pattern just using a simple, here I have my hand up here holding my fiddle here, so the fingerboard is wide open, so we're just going to focus on the bow for a minute. And I'm up here close to my hand. You have good control right here. So we start just a little bit up from my hand, right about here, and I play. Okay, so that's pretty simple. It's kind of slow still. It'll start to morph as we speed it up. Let's try it again. 2, 3. So it's really just about where you're putting emphasis on notes, and that's all done with pressure, applying pressure to your bow, like a. Okay. When we start to add notes in, it's going to sound a little bit different. Obviously it won't sound, this is a D, or more or less D and an A, but a D chord. So if we add some notes, this is what I'm eventually hoping to get at here. Okay, so you're really just keeping your bow moving and controlling where the notes are hitting. So okay, we stopped there. We haven't moved on yet. So this is the bowing. So remember, you just break it down. Let's stick in our key. Let's go ahead and make that G and B. And let's go ahead and do the bow pattern of that. So we start off 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's make this G double stop a C. Here's an easy way to do it. You just add a C note instead of the B. Let's go back to the G. Okay? Alright, so let's cycle through that a few times. It's going to be G for a count of 4 and then C for a count of 4. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me show you how this would sound if I were playing it. I'd start off the second part. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so let's move forward. I'm getting anxious. I want to teach you the rest of this second part and get these notes out so we can review it together. Okay, so again, we'll start simply just breaking down these notes. This is the rest of the tune. We came off of that little bridge note, the F sharp. Now we play 2 Gs, 2 Ds, 2 Bs, and a nice long A. Let's try that again from the Gs. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ending on that A. Okay, you might notice too that everything's built around that arpeggio there. Except for that A, but it's an odd note in the mix, but it's pretty much that G arpeggio. I love to go over these G arpeggios. It's a great way to warm up. Some of my warm-up tactics include the arpeggios, as far as you can do them in first position, and then the scale of rolls. I like to use that to get my finger warmed up. But here's these notes again from the arpeggio. We start with the G. It's like an arpeggio descending. G, D, B, A. Now the ending we already kind of have from our first part, so let's just review it quickly. We start on the G and play a G, A, pick up. Right on the downbeat, the B. Okay, so we should have that pretty simple. Let's go back to those G's. 2 G's, 2 D's, 2 B's, and an A. 2, 3. All right, now let me show you a variation I use a lot, especially in the second part here. This comes after the G's. I'll play it for you first, then we'll take a closer look. So what I'm playing there is a B, D, B, D, A, and I'm sliding into the B each time, giving it kind of a different sound. So I play. Okay, so speaking of double stops, one I use, and you'll see this in the video in the beginning too. So we'll take our third double stop we learned today, this one on the A and the E strings, your B and your G. Okay, so we can use this when we're walking down or playing this latter half of the second part, you know, the... So we're going to use double stops there. The first one's going to be the B and the G. Then we're going to play that D. Now this is the note that comes next. You could choose not to use a double stop here, or you could just play. Then we're going to go back to that G and B again. So you see, in this one double stop of G and B, it contains two important notes here, G and B. So these notes come up. You know, you have G, G, and then the B's. And then we have the A. Now for the A, we'll use that A and D. Just that simple one right there. So here it is with double stops. Alright? Okay, so let's play through this tune a couple of times. I say we play through it slowly, and then we'll get up to that 100 beats per minute, which the jam track that you have now to play along with is set at. So we'll see if we can build up to that speed. So we'll play through this first two times at a relatively slow speed. I'll count us in. 1, 2, 3, 4. enjoyed today's lesson of Turkey in the Straw, and I hope you enjoyed playing it. Remember, if you want to build up speed, the trick is, it's pretty simple really, it's just play it slowly over and over and over again. So that's it for now, wrapping up the lesson today. I'd like to thank you for coming by onlinelessonvideos.com, and make sure and check us out in the future.